Hello everyone, thanks for joining us and welcome to episode 8 of the FPL Cougars show. I'm your host Chris and with me this week is, as always, Kieran. Hello.
Good evening, all right.
Kieran, we have a great show tonight, or what? Game week 6. Wow. We're going to start with our scores tonight. We're going to review each of the game week 6 matches and then we're going to finish with our preview of game week 7, our transfer plans and captaincy picks. In terms of talking points tonight, I know, Kieran, you want to discuss Hazard and Aubameyang and their trolling behaviour. I captained Hazard, so I'm going to join a little bit on that one. We're going to chat about Burnley's potential return to form and also about the template, and some players are emerging that the template is beginning. Early stages, but let's see. So, Kieran, we got lots to get through. Let's start by talking about your team. How was your game week?
Yeah, it was good. A fairly decent game week, I suppose. 20 points above average, which is nice again. And I got 75 for 2 weeks running, which never really happens. Yeah, I never get the same score. That's really odd, but happy. Yeah. All those clean sheets at the back, which was lovely. You don't get that often either. And yeah, practically every person on my team returned, other than Fraser, Hazard, and that was it. So yeah, happy.
Yeah, a big rankings jump as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I went from about 90k to 33k. So yeah, really happy with that.
That's really good progress. Yeah, like you say, your team was well stacked. Double Crystal Palace defence came in for you.
Yep.
One of your big decisions, you kept Mendy.
Yeah, I didn't want to get rid of it because I did the Aubameyang to Mitrovic and then Walcott to Hazard. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to take a hit for Mendy. I didn't think it was worth it because I'm just not sure if he's definitely injured at the moment because nobody really knows. But yeah, you obviously did it, didn't you?
Yeah, so I ended on 64 points, and sort of key to boosting me up a little bit was the fact I did transfer out Mendy for Robertson, who I'd taken out the week before on my wild card to try and avoid Liverpool's tougher fixtures. But after their performance against Tottenham and their nearly clean sheet there and their great performance against PSG, I thought I've got to have him back in against Southampton. And I even think going away to Chelsea this one, we'll get onto that a bit later, but going away to Chelsea, I think their defence is so strong at the moment. Could see them, if West Ham can keep Chelsea out, I'm fairly confident in Liverpool doing the same. So yeah, Robertson came in for Mendy. A few decisions which I guess left me with a lower score than I would have liked was Hazard captaincy rather than Salah. That was a form over fixtures decision. I thought Hazard had returned in every game so far this season. I thought going away to West Ham, he'd had his rest. Chelsea in good form. I thought, he'd get some good returns there, but wasn't to be. Salah and Aguero both produced, so dropped me down a little bit. But it was really my defence that came in, and Mitrovic. So yeah, pretty pleased.
It made sense to captain Hazard. You know, you just went off form, and he's looked good. So it was a perfectly viable captain choice. You just got unlucky, I think. Nobody really saw West Ham kind of getting a clean sheet there, really. So it kind of came out of the blue. I kind of expected West Ham to score, but I didn't really expect a clean sheet, that's for sure. And you would expect Hazard would be involved, so just got a bit unlucky, really. And it's just classic. Whenever I buy Hazard, he does nothing for me. Like, that is just... I've mentioned it to you in other seasons, and you've always just said, don't go near Hazard. You know how trolly is. And obviously, he hasn't been trolly this year. He's returned, like, all the time. But as soon as I get him, he turns into a troll. So, whatever.
He was back to sort of his old FPL ways yesterday. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh because he had a decent game by his hands. He just wasn't, he wasn't ruthless enough. He had a chance in the first half, hit it straight at Fabianski, but his 2 chances in the second half where he was put through one-on-one, first by Willian and then second by Morata. And in both instances, he just tried to square it. And I think it was to Morata in both cases. And he fluffed up the passes and they came to nothing. But yeah, you want, for your 10.5 plus captained premium midfielder, you want him to be shooting when he's like just outside the 6-yard box. So yeah, to see him try and square the ball was really irritating. So it's put me off captaining Hazard now for the future because watching that was painful.
You can't predict him ever hauling.
No.
You're just never confident. At least I'm not. I don't know how long he'll stay on my team. If he continues to blank, because I just know how trolly he is, especially for me.
Yeah.
When I come to wildcard, and if he doesn't do much in the next 2 games, I may get rid of him. So yeah.
He has got some tricky games coming up. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll talk more about our transfer plans a bit later. But like you say, I'm thinking already after he pissed me off about what I can do with him.
Okay.
So should we start with our game week review at the very beginning? Fulham Watford.
Yeah.
You loved 1-1 draws. This was a game for you because that's how it ended. What did you like about this game?
Well, nice to see my Aubameyang transfer sort of paid off, I guess. I had the feeling that Aubameyang would do something, but then I just didn't want to let Hazard go out my price range. I didn't want to miss out on Mitrovic because Mitrovic has looked really good, and obviously you couldn't really blame him for blanking against City last week. Like, obviously, really tough fixture, and then he's back to his old ways of just lots of shots, lots of box touches, and gets his goal. He looks great. So don't see why he can't get a goal this weekend as well. What do you reckon? Yeah,
I was really impressed with him. It was the first time watching a full 90-minute Fulham game this season. So to see how involved he was. I thought Fulham were actually quite poor in the first half. It literally was the game of two halves because Watford were really impressive first half. Yeah. They should have been more than one up, really. And Fulham just continued pressing away second half, and they got their goal through. I think it was Casabelli? I don't know.
No, Gray scored, didn't he?
Oh, sorry. I mean, like, who switched off for Mitrovic's goal? Because he'd been bossing him all game, and Kalasavi, I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, he'd been bossing him all game, and he just lost him for one moment, and he was livid with himself. But yeah, fair play to Mitrovic. He's kept going, like you say, lots of shots, everything's going through him.
And I think hit the bar as well, didn't he? He could have had more.
I think that was actually the shot that lost him top bonus because he was on for 3. And I think he had to header off the bar, which counts as a missed chance, and he dropped down to 2 bonus. So, I know. If only he'd scored.
Never mind.
Never mind, indeed. Yeah. No, it was a good game. I thought Gray looked good as well for Watford. Really sharp. He had 3 shots. Like I say, he played well in the first half. 3 shots on target. He's 6 million still, so he's 0.1 cheaper than Deeney. He's now on 3 goals for this season. He's got Arsenal next, but after that, he's got 6 favourable games. So I think he's a decent differential. He impressed me. Only 1.1% ownership as well.
I think he's not a big name. I think people seem to just like, he's very inconsistent, and he's not really returned in the history of the Prem really. Or as long as he's been playing at least, and just. People see Mitrovic as Zaha and Asvic, and you just kind of don't go anywhere near him, do you? I suppose. But if you want a differential, if you're in the millions or something, then he could be a good pick.
No, I think so. What do you make of Pereira for Watford? We talked about it a little bit last week because he's owned by 16.3% of players. I think he's the most popular pick for Watford by quite a long way. Another quiet game, 1 shot. I think there's lots of options in midfield, isn't there, if you still got him?
Yeah, if you don't have Fraser, I'd say he's a good way to go if you want to get rid. To be honest, I didn't see the highlights of this game, so I'm going off any stats. But he looks like he's regressing a little bit back to his mean of his average of not getting that much action, really. But he's still got decent fixtures, as you say, other than the Arsenal game. So maybe he's worth keeping if you think he can come up with the goods. I wouldn't go there.
He just looked off the page. He didn't look clinical or threatening enough for me. It was all going through Deeney and Gray, playing out wide on the left for Watford. He had one decent-ish chance where he received the ball in the penalty box from a Deeney flick on. His shot just wide, so that was his one chance.
If you want a midfielder from there, go for Hughes. He's got another assist in that game. He's quietly consistent. Yeah. So, like him.
And I actually think Watford played a lot worse when he got subbed off. He got subbed off in about the maybe 70th, 75th minute, and after that, Fulham played a lot better.
Was that Hughes or Pereira?
Hughes got subbed off, and Watford sort of lost their control of the game a little bit. So, I think he's quite an important player for them, and helped out with the assist. But finally, before we move on to the next game, I just wanted to say about how poor I thought Fulham were defensively, especially in that first half. They allowed so many flick-ons and just poor play. The central defenders of Mawson and Callum Chambers getting caught out. So I was already watching this game, thinking already about next week. They play away at Everton, and I'm quite excited by the prospect of bringing in a certain Everton attacker for that game. Yeah,
Yeah, straight to Pedro, I'd assume.
Pedro's going to be going, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Burnley 4, Bournemouth 0. Oh, Kieran, the Fraser transfers. What happened?
Yeah, about what most transferred in curse as usual. About 700k, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I've had Fraser for the whole time to get his points. I think he might return to his averageness now, I'm thinking. But Bournemouth might have kind of just not score anymore, or not score, but I think they might be a lesser team from now on. If you're going against Burnley, who've been really poor, and Bournemouth have been scoring for fun and not doing anything, I think that's a red flag slightly. But then Burnley played really well. Came out of nowhere, really, that performance. They should have turned a corner, I guess. Out of Europe and looking good now. I mean, Ben Mee at 4.9. I like him. I'm certainly looking at him for a PVA replacement or a Mendy replacement. And Burnley's fixtures are good.
No, I was impressed as well. I thought the scoreline flattened them a little bit because they scored 2 goals in the final 10 minutes as Ashley Barnes came on to... I mean, a 2-0 sounds... Okay, you can lose 2-0, but a 4-0, that's a drubbing, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So to get battered 4-0 makes it look a lot worse than it was. Taking a closer look at the stats, Bournemouth actually had 19 shots on goal, which was 7 more than Burnley managed. Okay. So I wonder if it's just on another day, things might go a little bit differently and perhaps not so many late goals. But like you say, it is impressive to win 4-0. My pick, you mentioned Ben Mee as a good Burnley pick. They do have some good fixtures coming up. They've got Cardiff and Huddersfield in the next 2, so you'd expect Burnley to win back-to-back there, I would have thought, and climb the table. But yeah, Joe Hart in goal, 4.5 million. He's now made the most saves of any keeper this season, so that's great for your save points. And if you recall, last season they had Nick Pope, and the season before they had Tom Heaton. And they were there or thereabouts for the top goalkeeper position in each of the last each of those seasons. So I think it looks like he's going to keep with Hart. He's 4.5. His price hasn't gone up yet. And yeah, if you're thinking about changing a goalkeeper and you want to take advantage of the good fixtures coming up, I think get on board with Joe Hart.
Yeah, I mean, he's not made any howlers yet for him to be taken out. So until he does that, then he seems like a good bet, doesn't he? Yeah, there's always value in that goalkeeper position at Burnley. So yeah, I like it.
They allow shots, don't they? And generally it's savable shots because they sit quite deep defensively, and people are just getting shots from the edge of the box, and it's easy to palm away. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe coming out top 2 or 3 goalkeepers by the end of the season if he keeps his place. I mean, think how badly they've been getting beaten for the first 5 weeks, and the fact I think he's joint top with Hennessy now at the goalkeeper chart. So yeah, it's impressive.
Do you think Mee is an option going forward?
I think if you want that outfield potential of he might get me a headed goal, what I would say is that because Joe Hart's been getting the saves, he's more likely to get bonus as well.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that's almost you're almost guaranteed if Hart does get a clean sheet, he's probably going to get at least 1 point for the saves, and then is he going to get another point for the bonus? So, yeah.
I mean, 4.9 compared to Van Aanholt's 5.5 is not that much of a saving for someone who's possibly just going to be getting the 6 points.
I'd have a look at one of the Wolves defenders.
Yeah. I mean, I have been tempted by them, but I'm just not sure on their defence at the moment. Not sure they're going to keep getting clean sheets, but anyway, we'll talk about them later.
Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to talk about Callum Wilson because he's in my team. So Bournemouth have got some good fixtures up next. They play at home against Palace, Watford away, Southampton at home, and South Coast Derby, and then Fulham away. He's a little bit of a source of frustration, as are a lot of the strikers. So there's lots of options in the 6 million to 7 million bracket, but at the moment so far this season, we've seen that there's just so much value in defence and midfield, like your formation has been all season. There is a real strong case to have a cheaper third forward and invest that money in midfield and defence. So one option I've been looking at today, so after the Bournemouth's run finishes, that sort of coincides again where Liverpool's fixtures are more favourable. I mean, they don't need to be much more favourable. They won 6 out of 6 so far. But I'm contemplating downgrading Wilson and playing Trent and Alexander-Arnold and doubling up on Liverpool. I just think over the course of the season, he'll probably outscore him.
So how much would you downgrade him to, like a non-player or like a 5-5?
I think a 5-5, just so you've got that flexibility. So it probably would be Ings, but yeah, it's something to consider. I think I've got the team value there to work Ings and defender in.
Yeah, Trent's not expensive, is he? No. So in a good team that's keeping clean sheets for fun.
Exactly.
So, yeah, like it.
Any more to
add? No, let's move on. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about Cardiff against Manchester City. 5-0. Oh, I love a 5-0 scoreline. It just looks good. So it was a really great performance from City.
Yep.
Sort of, I guess, not expected, but Cardiff are woeful, aren't they? They are really bad. I'm sorry, Cardiff fans, but it's going to be a struggle for you guys this season. Aguero's first away goal of the season. So that was in my main reason for not captaining him, giving him the armband this weekend, because he hadn't delivered away from home, despite he'd returned in 3 of the 5 previous games.
Yeah.
You captained him. Were you confident?
Well, my girlfriend, it was her birthday, so I said choose Salah or Aguero. She knows nothing about football. She went for Aguero because she's heard me saying, for God's sake, Salah too often this season. So she said Aguero. But yeah, I was happy with it. You know, he signed a new contract, and I expected him to get goals after their disappointing defeat to Lyon in midweek. I expected them to bounce back and punish Cardiff for being as poorly defensively as they are. It just, a 5-0 Aguero only gets 1 goal. That's really disappointing, to be honest. You would expect him to get 2, maybe an assist. And then, he came off at 68 minutes this time, or maybe just 60 minutes, maybe. Being sub 2 games in a row at 60 odd minutes is a yellow flag, slight orange flag. I don't know. That's worrying. What do you think about that? Him getting taken off?
Well, I was relieved because he wasn't my captain. When I saw, because I wasn't watching the game or watching the points coming live, when I saw 5-0 before I checked to see who scored, I was really worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's strange. He came off the bench, didn't he, against Lyon, like you say, and then he came off earlier. But I think Pep is just managing him because Jesus hasn't really delivered on the same level so far this season. I think if they're comfortable, and knowing what Cardiff were like last season against Man City, when they played them in the FA Cup, they put in a couple of hard challenges. If Aguero gets injured when they're 3 or 4-0 up at that, I think it was 3-0 they were up at that point.
Yeah,
and it's just I guess it's bad management.
Just saving him, I suppose. Yeah,
there's more game to come. I don't think he'll start in mid. I don't know if they have a midweek League Cup game. I'm guessing they do.
I assume they do.
Yeah, I think it could be on Wednesday, but I don't know who they're playing. But I would assume he doesn't start then. Yep. Probably comes off the bench for a few minutes, and he's warmed up, ready to go for Saturday. I want to talk about City's defence, because obviously we had the issue with Mendy, but they only allowed 2 shots against Cardiff, which was fantastic. But like we say, Cardiff weren't much of a threat. I think Laporte is definitely someone I've also got my eye on. I was talking about Trent a minute ago, but Laporte, 5-5, he started every Premier League game so far this season. If Mendy's on, well, we don't know what's wrong with Mendy.
No. Well, I've got 3 question marks next to his name in my notes. I'm just like, no idea.
What do we know about it? Is Laporte a potential Mendy replacement? What do you think's up there?
I mean, I guess he is. Yeah, if you want to stay in City, if you haven't got Ederson as well, and you want to go double, then yeah, absolutely. If he's starting every game, there's no reason you'd think that he's not going to start all the others. Obviously, he's Pep Roulette, but Company doesn't seem to be getting a look in. Stone's not either, really. Stone seems to be playing the Champions League and the probably the Cup game this week. So, yeah, Laporte seems like he's nailed on. So why not?
I've been impressed. It's good to see him get a run of games. I think he was up with Otamendi on Saturday. So
yeah,
I think if you are looking to take advantage of the fact Mendy's out and still get into City's backline, I think he's a great option there. So what do you think about the whole Mendy situation then?
I don't think anybody really knows. Like, a lot of people say, like, they're not lying, he is just injured or whatever. But it's confusing when Pep says it's one thing, his knee, then it's his foot, then it's his ankle.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to think? Is it due to his speeding? He's been caught speeding like 3 times or something. He's lost his license. Yeah. Is it like a disciplinary thing internally? Is he just being, made to sit on the bench just because he's been a bad boy? I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to keep him because I don't want to lose the value, but just in the hope that he's not actually injured. It's really tough to call because we just don't know the information. That's why I'm sort of keeping on to him till I find out more. Really,
it is a really strange one, isn't it?
Yeah. Just no idea. Yeah, you go.
It was interesting that I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but he posted a picture because he was at the Anthony Joshua fight on Saturday night. And did you see Sterling replied saying, "Why were you not in Cardiff?"
Did he? I didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he said, "Why are you not in Cardiff this weekend?" And he had like a little confused emoji face. So I don't know. I mean, he doesn't look injured because he posted up another. I mean, let me say this: I've not been on Mendy's Instagram account myself. I've seen other people post it. I'm not that into Mendy just yet.
I followed him just for that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
All right. But yeah, so what did I see? I saw another photo of him standing up. So if he was, and he didn't have his knee in a brace, he didn't have his ankle in a brace, he wasn't on crutches. So it tells me he's not injured because he would need one of those 3 things. And I feel like we're doing. Can I just say, I feel like we're doing some great investigative journalism here. We're just really getting to the bones of the story. Anyway, so yeah, we saw he's not injured. And he's been pictured at a public event where he was with the 2 belts, and then Sterling added fuel to the fire by saying, "Why are you not in Cardiff?" So I think it must be a discipline thing. Maybe Pep's just keeping him out of the limelight while he's got this speeding ticket, but he's putting himself right back in the limelight by putting all these updates up.
Yeah, I mean, has Pep just downright lied if he's not injured?
Yeah,
because he said it's his foot. Yeah, that doesn't come off well, does it? If he's lying.
No. It'd be better to tell the truth on that. Yeah. Well, better to tell the truth for us fantasy managers, but it might create more of a story, mightn't it?
I mean, it doesn't. What does it help or hinder anyone by saying he's injured when he's not? Doesn't change anything, really.
No. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to. If he says he's in trouble, that creates negative press for Man City. And it also encourages journalists to say, "Oh, have you got a problem with Mendy? How is that affecting the rest of the squad morale?" And it's just, I guess it would just give Guardiola questions he doesn't want to answer.
Yeah, he could have just done it where they did with David Silva, where they just didn't say anything. And he just wasn't in the squad like last year. It was just like 3 or 4 games or whatever, and then they didn't say anything, and then eventually we found out what it was.
Yeah.
Would have preferred that, I think. But I don't know. I'm going to keep him this week, I think. It's Van Arnold on the chopping block for me, I think. Okay. I just want to know more. Possible. We'll see what happens in the game during midweek. See if he turns up there.
Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to shout out the City midfielders and Pep Roulette, as you like to call it.
Yeah.
Sterling, I bigged up on the show last week, got another assist to continue his great form. And been impressed with him. I'm just trying to find a way of getting him in the team at the moment because I think he could be a real nice differential still. He's still really low ownership. And I think he could make a big impact to people's teams. They've still got a decent run of fixtures coming up. After Brighton, they play Liverpool, and then they've got Burnley at home and Southampton at home in 2 of the next 3. I think they play Tottenham away between that. So they've got some home fixtures there where he can continue to do damage, really.
Yep, Mahrez as well. 2 goals off the bench. Yeah, nice. Sane looks decent as well with Mendy out. If Mendy's going to be out for more than 2 weeks, I guess, then he'll be an option again. Because he doesn't seem to get on the team when Mendy's playing. But he's looked good. And Gundogan as well. Quality. If you picked him, well done. But don't expect to get returns from him every week like that. I guess that's just a one-off. And then Bernardo keeping the people that kept him returning the points, which is nice for them. Yeah.
What did you make of Silva being benched? And what do his owners do there?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Just kind of out of the blue. But Pep has said he's going to manage his minutes. So, I guess it was just inevitable. It was coming. He'll probably play the next game, so you can keep him. He's had his rest. so he'll play the next game, I'd say. And he's always looks dangerous. So yeah.
I think I just want to finally say before we move on that Cardiff to finish on the least points ever of any Premier League team. Do you think they can do that?
Do we know what the least is?
I think Derby hold the record for 19. I think that was back when Robbie Savage was playing, so it was quite a while ago.
They might cut it close, to be honest.
Oh, I think it could happen. Okay, so Crystal Palace, Newcastle. If you love 0-0 draws, whoa, have we got one here? Wow. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, do we want to just talk about how much you like him?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? They're just great, mopping up those bonus points. And for 4.1, I think he's about to go to 4.2. Just bargain of the season, just player to have, 100%. If you don't have him, you're mental. I knew I wasn't worried about Mendy as well because I knew Wan-Bissaka would come off the bench and I was confident in a clean sheet in that game. So I had no worries of just not taking the hit for Mendy this week, just because I knew Wan-Bissaka would come on, probably get a bonus if they get a clean sheet, and I was really happy with that. Double clean sheet for Palace has worked out more often than not this season, so maybe I don't get rid of Van Arnold. But no, Van Arnold at 5.5. Only getting 6. He's got 1 assist this season. No bonus. Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired of that, to be honest. There's better value elsewhere, like Doherty or Duffy, for instance, who's smashing it at the moment. Obviously, that won't continue. He's a centre back, but yeah, I think he's possibly out, possibly this week. Not decided, but yeah, definitely. Not doing bits for me, unfortunately.
Not doing bits for you. Well, I think he's just been shown up by Wan-Bissaka, really, isn't he?
Big time.
Yeah, so such a saving in terms of money to produce, bonus point magnum, which is what you need. If Crystal Palace are going to get clean sheets when Tompkins is playing, then it looks like he's going to pick up more often than not pick up the 3 because he's done it twice so far this season. So actually,
Tompkins is absolutely a hero as well. Just just makes that defense so much better. As soon as he plays, I'm confident in them getting a clean sheet. I think as soon as he's not there, you're just like, oh god, get rid of them. But yeah, Tompkins is great.
If you want to keep the double Palace defense, I think Tompkins is only 4.4.
Yeah,
it's still quite cheap. No, you don't sound keen.
No, well, if I'm going to get rid of Van Aert, I wouldn't downgrade to another one in this team. I think that'd be strange. But yeah, I mean, talking about next week, I don't really want to keep Van Arnold as well because they're playing Bournemouth and I've got 3 players in that game.
Okay.
And to have Van Arnold as well, it seems a bit contradictory. And plus all my Chelsea and Liverpool players playing each other. There's a lot of teams playing each other. So I think I need to get rid of at least one that's playing each other.
You're going to be watching just 2 games next weekend.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I was pleased in this game with Hennessy because he was another player I brought in on my wild card. I think he picked up a single bonus point and had 3 saves, so enough for 1 save point. So he's returned 14 points in the 2 weeks I've had him. So really pleased with that buy. And I think, like you say, Palace have got a good enough defence, so he's working out as a good set and forget goalkeeper really for games where I don't want to double up on their defence. I'm happy to leave 4 million Wan-Bissaka on the bench and just play Hennessy. Before we move on, I just wanted to get your thoughts on Zaha because obviously a favourable game here against Newcastle at home. You'd expect Zaha obviously 7 million-ish now. Palace had 16 shots, but Zaha only had 2 of those.
Yep.
What would you be thinking if you were a Zaha owner at the moment?
I think they still got great fixtures, haven't they? Yeah, just keep him. There's no reason to get rid of him, I don't think. He's returned in most of the games. Just this one, a bit unlucky, I guess. Didn't get a yellow card for once, I think, so that's good for him. But yeah, I'd say keep if I had him.
The next 3 games are Bournemouth away, they got Wolves at home, and then they got Everton away. So Wolves at home, I'd worry, but if they couldn't score past Newcastle, I'd be worried for them scoring against Wolves because they don't concede big chances. And after those 3, so they got basically 2 away games, tough, and then one tough home game, and then they play Arsenal and Chelsea. So I think of the next 5, the most likely game he's going to score in is this next game week against Bournemouth. So I think if he's not doing the job for you against Bournemouth, I'd start to think about getting rid of him and investing in a striker with some better fixtures. Glenn Murray could be an option. Brighton have got some great fixtures coming up. And if Arnautovic is back in form, back from his injury, from game week 10, West Ham's fixtures really clear up there.
I mean, he's so explosive that you can't really, say he's not going to score in any of those games. So at 7 million, he's still a good bet, I think. But yeah, if you do want to get rid of him, then yeah, definitely go for it. Like you said, Murray is good. Mitrovic is still cheap and good and got decent-ish fixtures. Even Wilson, Ings, Jimenez, all those people. Yeah.
Should we move on and talk about Leicester and Huddersfield?
Yep. Let's do it.
3-1 to the Foxes.
And
that James Maddison, Kieran.
Yeah, proving he's finally not jammy with his point returns. Really nice free kick. He threatened to score quite a few times in that game. He had a nice free kick before it, which was close.
Yep.
Him and Vardy linking up well. Iheanacho going well with them as well. Gazal. They look good going forward. And Vardy's a great pick again. And then Maddison just quietly returning, which I'm happy with. He's turning into a template player, I'd say. Just because Leicester seem like they're going to keep scoring plenty of goals, and he's going to be involved.
I was taking a look at his heat maps. He's just so involved in the final third, just outside in and around the penalty area. He's really impressing right now. So there's 3 goals and 1 assist. I'm a bit annoyed I didn't back myself, because after the Manchester United game on the first game week of the season, I said, "Oh, Maddison looks good. I want to get him in my team," and I've not done it yet. And he's just continuing to rack up those points. He's still quite lowly owned, so he's only 8.8%.
Yep, I think he's gone up to about 9.6 now.
Oh, has he?
Already?
Okay.
Yeah, I checked it earlier. So he's rapidly going up.
That was only last night. All right, so people getting on board.
I think he's about close to a rise like today or tonight.
Oh, I'll double check that, because I was hoping I could leave it until after the League Cup, so I think he'd play that game. Because it's either going to be him or Richarlison, but we'll get to that. Like you said about Vardy, I was impressed.
Yep.
I think it was 7 shots total, so the goal and assist, and he looks good for the Leicester run of fixtures. If you've got an expensive forward line, I think he's good for the next 5. They play Arsenal away is the toughest game. They've got Everton and West Ham at home.
Yeah.
Could be a Vardy pie for the next 5 game weeks.
I think if you've still got like Aubameyang possibly, or you're looking to get rid of Aguero or possibly Lukaku, then, and you don't want to go down to a 7 million or a 5.5 or whatever, then Vardy's a great pick. Our friend George, FPL Whale, got him in for his 11 points. Yeah, great pick.
Did well.
Yeah, 11
Was
points.
anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good return. Was there anyone else that tickled your fancy in that game?
Not really, I suppose, at the moment. Chilwell still looks good, but he's just not keeping the clean sheets. Pereira still looks good. Didn't get a return this week, but they're both good options.
I think he got dropped. I think he got dropped. I don't think he played.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he he just got benched, and not good for him and his owners, because, like you say, he was a consideration of mine before last game week. And,
who came in? Was it Fuchs?
No, it was not. I'm not remember the name of the person.
Right.
But no, it was not. And surprised at that, really. I thought he looked good from an attacking point of view, but obviously Claude Pearl's a bit concerned about his defensive, because I think he was out of position, wasn't he, for a couple of the Fraser goals against Bournemouth. So
for sure.
It's been caught out there.
Yeah, you'd probably want to stay away from the defence, really. They're just not keeping clean sheets. So you want to look for clean sheets first, and that's not what Leicester are doing. So I don't really think they're options at the moment.
But they're scoring goals, so long may it consider for Maddison.
Yep.
So should we move on? Liverpool 3 against Southampton, who got 0. 3-0. Oh.
I could see that coming, couldn't we?
Yeah. Well, let me just start by talking about Salah. So all week I'd had the captaincy on Hazard, and then Saturday morning I thought I probably should give some proper consideration to this. So I looked at the stats, and initially my thoughts have been on, right, I'm going to play it form over fixtures, and go with Hazard because Salah's looked a little bit off the pace against Leicester, Tottenham, and PSG, and see what Hazard could do. But I was like, right, I'm just going to check my sanity and have a look at the stats. But when comparing them all, Salah was having the most average shots per game in Southampton, conceding the most big chances of Cardiff and West Ham. So for a while on Saturday morning, I was like, well, Salah, no brainer. But I just got turned out of it, and how wrong I was, because great finish off the crossbar rebound, 2 yards out.
Yep.
Love it. Just raced onto it. He looked happy to score. Clinical finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was good in a way, obviously, because everyone has Salah, but to not captain him, it's funny because last season it would never be in doubt, would it? Salah at home against Southampton, but it's just these last 3 games and the start of this season, he hasn't quite looked like last season's imperious best, and the doubt in my mind.
I mean, he was unlucky not to get more in that game, I'd say. He looked good. Punishing the people that got rid of him a little bit, anyone who thinks that Mane could have covered him, not so much. Mane and Firmino could cover him, but haven't done in this game. And Mane has regressed back to his, not scoring all the time. His start was out of the ordinary, I guess. Salah's starting to take over again. But any one of them could have got that tap in, because they all 3 of them, Mane, Firmino, and Salah, all rushed for that ball. He was just the one that kind of it bounced to. But he looked really happy when he scored. He's sort of a weight off the shoulders was dropped, and I could see him getting goals against Chelsea at the weekend. I kind of fancy him for the captain.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Okay, all right. Well, I think it'd be a very cool, but I don't think it'd be a bad one necessarily. But like you say, I think Mane was quiet. He had 1 shot. Salah had 2, but I mean it's still fairly close there. Yep. I think Liverpool's main, how I've been impressed with them this season is just their defensive game. I mean, it's just so strong now, and I think Robertson has only failed to return either attacking or defensive in 1 game now. And he got the bonus point as well, considering he got the bonus point in a 3-0 win where he didn't score or assist. Is quite impressive, really. So I think, was it Matip got all 3 and
Trent got 2.
Trent got 2,
assist.
Yeah. So I think Liverpool, there's still so much, good value in Liverpool's defence. Yeah. Irritating for Van Dijk owners, because he came off in the 53rd minute, didn't he, with like a rib injury or something.
Yeah. I don't. If you've got a Liverpool defender, it's probably not Van Dijk by now. Honestly, he's just not doing it, kind of assist wise or anything like that, or bonus wise at all. You'd be foolish to have him at the moment, I'd say.
Well, he sits back and holds, doesn't he? While Trent and Robertson bomb forward. Yeah. So I think
he's a great player. But he's just not an FPL asset right now.
No, shame really. Yeah. I think Liverpool's clean sheet there was a little bit indebted to the fact that Ings couldn't play. So he scored 50% of all Southampton's Premier League goals so far this season. Yep. So that's 3 of 6, that is. And they just had 1 shot on target the whole game. So whereas in the past Liverpool have really struggled against smaller teams to break them down and score and have had some sloppy results, they now look like they're just steamrolling these teams, getting clean sheets, and lesser teams are just prepared to. It's almost damage limitation. I think that's what Mark Hughes said at the end of the game. He said, they put 3 past us and we just didn't want to make it a cricket score, so we had to shut it down. But I mean, the teams are now going to Liverpool scared, so I think if more teams are going to approach them like that, why not just keep the armband on Salah?
Are teams more scared of Liverpool than City now? Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Feels like it. I mean, they play in different ways, don't they? City will just kill you with the fast play in the final third after having the ball so long, but Liverpool are letting teams just try and build up a little bit, and it's Keita, Milner, or whoever comes in the midfield, even Wijnaldum, nicking it off a defender, and then they all spring forward so quick. Firmino's great movement. Yeah, they've just got different ways of playing, but they're both so effective. And they can any time they could either team could rack up a 3-4-5-0 scoreline. So yeah,
they're very good at rotating as well. They don't have one guy at the top that just has to like a Lukaku that has to kind of bring it down and feed off someone else.
Yeah.
They all just rotate. One of them can just go in the mid, and they're so fast and so skillful as well.
Yeah.
That just goals can come from anywhere.
Yeah, the patterns of play are just beautiful to watch. So no, I'm really excited to look for. I don't think we've got a League Cup, haven't we, on Wednesday between Liverpool and Chelsea? I think that'll be the warm up game for the big one at the weekend.
Probably a lot of youngsters in that team. Those teams, I'd say, all sort of bench players at least. Moreno getting games, stuff like that.
So, anything you want to add finally about Liverpool Southampton before we move on?
Ings to come back in for players or for managers. Hopefully he does well next week. Don't be too disheartened with Southampton and their attack.
They've got a tough game. Play Wolves away.
Yeah, well, he could score. He's clinical. If he gets one chance, then he can score.
Yeah, true. All right, well, moving swiftly on to Man United Wolves. 1-1 at the Theatre of Dreams. It's more like the Theatre of Nightmares watching some of the games there. Honestly, it's just depressing. United was so devoid of any creativity. I think I was talking to someone about this yesterday, and I think Sanchez may be one of the worst signings for United I've seen in my lifetime. I just don't know what's happened to him. He's either getting too old, which is funny to say because he's only 29, but he's either been burnt out from too much football, he doesn't fit the system, and he can't play in a Mourinho team. The fact that he was rested to play against young boys, and you'd expect him to play the full 90 against Wolves, to have him sub for Martial, most expensive Premier League player ever, 20 minutes to go when they need to chase the game, was just, said it all really. He had such a poor game again. But just sorry to go on about it, but him and Lingard and Lukaku just look so poor in the attacking third. I just can't see myself investing in United this season.
No, he looks like a dead player, to be honest. Just don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
But stay away FPL wise. Their defence is still ones to possibly look at. I mean, you've brought in Shaw. I'm looking at Shaw as a possible Van Aanholt replacement because they still do have good fixtures.
They do.
They can keep clean sheets. But that has been pretty rare. But, everyone thought they turned the corner, but apparently not. But Wolves were arguably the better team. They played great. And then I think Jimenez looks really, really good. I'm definitely looking at him. I think he's about to haul, just like Mitro was before he got that hat trick. All the stats are pointing towards him. He's been a little bit wasteful, but that means he's getting the opportunities. And eventually, if he a bit more training, he's going to start slotting them away. And there's all coming from him. And I'm risking a hit possibly this week for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just the aim of the game is to get the player in before they haul, and I think he's gonna haul.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be Van Aanholt out, Kamara upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were talking earlier about 5.5 million strikers, and I mentioned Ings, I didn't mention Jimenez, but you're right. He's played well recently.
Yep.
He looks like he's the main man. He hasn't got many people challenging for that spot, and I think the more. Home fixture, decent run of fixtures they've got now for the next 4. I think he could be a shrewd buy there.
I mean, I did a comparison between on Mail Online between him and Lukaku in that game, and he was just by far better. 2 key chances created, 2 key passes. He got the assist. He's not just a scorer of the goals; he gets assists as well. He's kind of like Aguero. He seems great. And at 5.5, he's a really, really good option, I think. And Wolves are only getting better, it seems. So they're going to start dominating teams, I think.
I agree. I think they really bossed it. But their defensive shape is great because essentially when they're defending, they've almost got 8 back. And the wing backs, Doherty and Johnny, got... we've seen in the game before last Doherty's attacking credentials. And I think Johnny's potentially got the same there as well, former Atletico Madrid player.
Yeah.
So I think him, Johnny, Bolly, who's got great bonus point potential. He just as soon as Wolves get a clean sheet, it's almost guaranteed he's going to get bonus points.
Yeah.
And Bennett's a really cheap 4.1 starter, and I thought he played. It was the first time I'd watched him. He had a good header from a corner. which could have gotten some points. So to see him on my bench with one more point than Shaw when United played at home against Wolves was a bit irritating. But
they were a bit unlucky, to be honest. I mean, just a little bit of magic from Pogba to get that assist, and then Fred with the clinical finish. Other than that, like, United didn't do much.
They didn't. No.
So yeah, they probably were the better team overall.
Yeah, no, lots to be impressed about by Wolves, and I think you're right with Jimenez. Got some good fixtures coming up.
Yep. Let's move on.
Okay, Brighton Spurs.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that one?
Sure.
Good.
Spurs looked a bit not great as usual, but Kane, 5 shots, which is starting to get back to his best, I suppose. Maybe not clinical wise, but he's getting more shots than he has been for a good while. That was a ruthless penalty finish, that's for sure. Really, really nice penalty. I mean, Trippier, unlucky to not get the clean sheet. All the Spurs people, well, not the Spurs, the managers that brought him in for Mendy were ruined. All Twitter was just mad to see Trippier lose his clean sheet in the last minute. But yeah, Knockaert as well. I've said him a few times, talked about him a few times on the show. I talked about him on Twitter. He was great. 5.5. He's a possible Fraser replacement down the line when their fixtures change and Brighton start to change come game week 8. Well, actually, after this week. Yeah, game week 8. They got City this week, and then their fixtures are just green for a long time. So I'm definitely looking at him as a really good differential. I think it looks great. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I watched most of this game, and like you say, Knockaert looked really, really good. He's got 3 key passes and 3 shots on target in the game. And that's 1 goal and 3 assists, I think, so far this season now. And I just, even after they got the second, when Brighton got 1 right at the end, he still had another chance right at the very end of the game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So he could have doubled it. So I'm, impressed with him. And like you say, they've got such a great run of fixtures. So I think while he's performing and their fixtures are about to turn, he's the sort of player. He's really lowly owned. And if you want to climb up the rankings, bring him in. Now, one player who I'm potentially thinking of replacing him off, who featured in this game, Lucas Moura. And that's mainly just due to all the competition. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be in the same boat as me, which is poor timing because in the next 2 games they play Huddersfield away and Cardiff at home, Spurs do. But Moura has now got a lot of competition from Son, Lamela, and Ali is back now as well. So there is essentially, 5 players fighting for what is essentially a 2 or 3 spots sometimes. So he's played most of the games, or he started every game this season, and he's played 90 in 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly convinced Poch likes him, but that's not to say he won't get substituted like he did in this game on like the 70th, 75th minute, which I'm not too happy about considering what good fixtures they've got. So I'm probably going to hold him for this Huddersfield game. But the thing is, he'll probably play and not do anything, and then I'll want to keep him for the Cardiff game because I'll just be thinking the same thing again. But I could see in both of those games there's better Spurs options to get in.
So are you saying you're looking towards Knockaert?
Knockaert instead, yeah. So I'll probably give Moura the Huddersfield game just to see if he's going to get rotated, and then potentially I'll look to bring in Knockaert for their good run. But it'll be difficult to watch that home game against Cardiff without Moura in there, without any Spurs coverage.
Yeah, I mean, he looks really confident, Knockaert, right? But I'm worried for them against City. But I think it's the kind of game where City are going to concede 1. I think they'll win comfortably, but I think they'll concede 1 to a Knockaert assist, Murray goal, something like that. If Knockaert still looks really confident and stuff, and then he's awesome. Next week, I'm definitely looking at him.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can get on him before he starts, getting those hauls of goals as well, then that's the place to be, because he's obviously so low owned as well.
No, I think he's one of those players where I'm excited about owning him mainly because of how low his ownership is. Yeah, and I think he could be a real steal just to boost me up, potentially into the top 100,000. He's
basically like Fraser was for me at the start of the season. So low owned, people don't expect it, and then he's just come into form. He's got loads of points, and now knockout's going to be the same thing. I think.
Would you
same price.
Would you swap Fraser to get knockout in?
I don't know, to be honest, at the moment. Okay. I'll see how he does against City. If he looks like he's still there, then quite possibly, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've probably made my money from Fraser now. So
yeah. Sell him on for the profit.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else you want to talk about from that Brighton Spurs game? If you were thinking of investing in Huddersfield and in a Spurs player for the Huddersfield and Cardiff game, would you suggest anyone?
Trippier, I suppose. He still looked good. Nice assist. Well, not a nice assist. So he got fouled, but no, he didn't get fouled. He got the penalty off the Murray putting his hand up, didn't he? Yeah. He's on corners and free kicks. So yeah, Trippier. If you're looking to replace Mendy, he's a great option.
I still think he's prone to rotation, which is my worry with Spurs fullbacks.
He's not been rotated at all, or he's not played at all.
Oh, it's just Aurier just in the back of my mind. Just ready to crush it.
I wouldn't be worried by that. It doesn't seem to be happening.
Okay. Well, anyway, I like Trippier, so let's see this weekend what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. West Ham, Chelsea. Shall I just start by saying it's a hazard?
Yeah.
Well, like I mentioned with the captaincy, the two chances in the second half, clean through and trying to pass it. Yeah, really disappointing.
Just a classic troll, wasn't he? Been so good all season. As soon as actually you had him for his hat trick, didn't you, last week?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But as soon as I get him, just does nothing. It's just typical, really. But whatever. I'm still happy to own him, I guess. It's at least for the time being. Yeah. It was just a boring game, really. Yeah,
it was. It was really, really dull. Chelsea had quite a few shots. Fabianski picking up the most saves, and I think he had 6 saves and max bonus off the back of that. Yeah. But there wasn't really any point where I thought Chelsea looked like they were going to score. And it was interesting to note. So I'd seen that Pedro had hurt his shoulder, and looking at how he shared time with Willian, I was quite confident that he wouldn't start. So I benched him instead for Wan-Bissaka, and it turned out that he didn't come on at all. I don't think he was in the squad because his shoulder was bad. And it was interesting to see that after the game, Sarri said that Pedro, this is quoting exact word for word, Pedro, he is very important for us as he is the best player with movement without the ball. We are hoping to have him back by the end of the week. So that made me think that Sarri rates him a lot more highly than Conte ever did, which is why he's been starting so regularly. And I from that, I took the impression that he is more favoured than William is in the team. So if he's back in time, I think he'll start at the weekend against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I'd probably keep him, but I'm not sure if I'm going to start him in that game yet. I'll talk a little bit more about. I'm probably going to get rid of him this week. But if you've got
get rid of him. If
you've got other people, he was only going to be a whole make-way, thinking he had 2 good fixtures against Cardiff and West Ham, and then I would get rid of him for Richarlison or Maddison, and that's happening this week. But yeah,
did he get any returns in the Cardiff game?
No, just
he's got 2 blanks, basically.
Yeah, disappointing transfer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was irritating. I thought West Ham actually had the 3 best chances of the game. So Antonio in the first half had 2 great chances.
Yeah.
The second one was just I know it was like he snatched at it, but with it 6 yards out.
Yarmolenko as well.
Yarmolenko had a good header, didn't he, in the second half? They need Arnie back.
Stonewall sitter, mate.
Oh, it was. Yeah, they need Arnie back.
Yeah, they really missed him, didn't they?
But if Arnie's still out again, West Ham play at home against Man United at the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday. If Arnie's still out, I would back United for a clean sheet there. So let's wait and see what's happening with his knee.
Yeah, I back United to struggle there, honestly. Oh. If Arnie's not there, then they'll do a bit better. But I think United will struggle, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that was that game. Dull and boring and disappointing, I think, is the 3 words that sum up that one. The final game of the weekend at the Emirates, Arsenal-Everton. 2-0 to Arsenal. Oh, I thought Everton were going to score. And they didn't.
Yeah, same actually. I mean, they looked like it. Richarlison had a good few chances. He was unlucky, to be honest. Czech made some good saves from him. Mm-hmm. He still looks like a great pick if you want to go towards Richarlison. I think you're thinking about it. He was great. Selfish, great FPL player.
It's what you want. I have a feeling that he might. He's played number 10 role for Brazil in the friendlies a couple of weeks ago, and Tosin's just not been doing it, has he? I think Calvert-Lewin played through the middle against Arsenal at the weekend, and wouldn't be surprised if sooner or later Richarlison plays through the middle for Everton.
Is Tosin injured? Like, why was he dropped?
I don't know, but he's been poor, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think Calvert-Lewin, but it was strange. I think Nias has done well when he's played instead of him.
Mm.
But it'd be
Nias
interesting.
Was Hull when Silva was there, so he likes Nias. So I don't know why he's not really giving him a chance.
He's come on a few times, but no, I think if Richarlison plays central striker, I mean, I don't know, he might not be very good at playing central striker. Obviously, he's only played it a few times that I've seen, but yeah, cutting him from the left, he had, like you say, a good few chances against Arsenal.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about Aubameyang and frustrations?
No, let's move on.
Oh!
No, I'm kidding. No, I kept on for him for so long, for 6 game weeks, just had him from the start. He got me a few assists and like 1 goal here and there, and he just blanked more often than not, and I just didn't want to keep seeing him blank. He just kept giving me assists, which I was hopeful he'll get loads of points, and that just never happened. So I just thought, Hazard's doing so well, he's in the form of his life at the moment. let's make this change. It seems obvious. Kind of worked out because I got Mitrovic's goal. Aubameyang got subbed off for like 67 minutes ish. Still a little bit anonymous. I was really worried that he was going to start banging in some goals after he got there was it brace in the Europa.
Yep.
And I was just like, okay, he's hitting form now. I'm just like, I'm going to regret getting rid of him. But I didn't in the end. So Mitrovic and Hazard for Aubameyang and Walcott got 2, I believe. So I kind of did okay. I think I got 1 point up on it.
I was going to say, 1 point. That's okay. They all count.
Yeah. So
they all count.
All good, I suppose.
Well, I think Ramsey was a player of interest for me as well this game because he had 2 assists, 2 key passes, 1 shot. He was getting forward quite well. His assist to Aubameyang, I mean, Aubameyang was offside, wasn't he? Did you see this? So don't feel too beat up about that.
Yeah.
And the assist for Lacazette was a great finish from Lacazette. So it wasn't like he played him in really smartly and 2 good passes. But yeah, Ramsey's got the potential. Arsenal have still got these great games, but it's just been difficult, even still, because they've been sharing the points around and the goals around between Lacazette and Aubameyang. It's difficult to pick one over the other. And when Lac is so much cheaper, it almost seems ridiculous to go with Aubameyang. So still, it's a really tough. I want some Arsenal investment for these fixtures, but until I know for definite who is going to be their main source of points, I'm a bit loath to get one over the other. Really.
They're just sharing, aren't they? Like Lacazette, I'd still be worried that he might just get benched randomly.
Yeah.
You know, even with Aubameyang, he might get benched because Lacazette's doing so much better than him, I suppose.
Yeah.
Tough to say. I don't think Ramsey's rotation proof either. Mkhitaryan can easily come in for him.
Yeah.
Although I think Mkhitaryan is a bit injured at the moment.
He has picked up a knock.
And there's no one really else that can come in for Ramsey. Maybe Iwobi. But then I was watching Arsenal Fan TV today and watching DT, and he was saying that Ozil and Ramsey shouldn't play together because they just don't have any width at all.
Yeah.
So one of them should be benched if one of them's going to play. Then they should just play Iwobi as well to just give them some width. So that's something to think about if you're getting either one of them, I suppose. You know, they're rotation prone. So
was he angry?
Who, DT?
Yeah.
No, not really, because obviously they got their 2-0 win. He was fairly okay with it.
I was going to say, I only watch Arsenal Fan TV when they lose. Sure. It's the best.
It just happened to come up on YouTube. I was like, all right, let's have a look.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
So, if you're a Wally owner, Walcott owner, what would you be doing right now? Because he's still quite highly owned. What about that side transfer to Richarlison?
I mean, maybe if you want to keep that Everton defence, they still do have attack, sorry. They still do have okay fixtures.
Yep.
And they were unlucky not to score in that game. But Leicester have great fixtures. If you haven't got Maddison, if you haven't got Fraser, Bournemouth are great fixtures. Knockout has got one bad fixture and then hundreds of great fixtures, it seems like.
Yeah.
So there's definitely places to go from him. I'd keep him for this week, probably. And then other than that, I'd maybe look to move on.
Yeah. They've got Fulham at home this week, and Fulham are fairly leaky away from home.
Yeah.
So they've got Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Brighton at home in the next 6. So 3 of the next 6 are at home. So I think those are 3 good home fixtures. So if you're content to stick with Wally after all we know about him, I think go for it. But I'm looking at Richarlison as my Pedro replacement. So talking of, is there anything else you want to add from that one? Are you happy?
Arsenal finally kept a clean sheet.
They did finally keep a clean sheet, Kieran. Yeah, nice.
Luckily.
And who got max bonus?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
I'll give you a clue. He plays in goal. He did. Yeah.
He did make a lot of saves, so he was probably the man of the match.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 6 saves and max bonus. So well done, Peter Cech. And the Arsenal defence almost looked worth investing in. Monreal had a shot in the box in the first half. Could have gone in. Could have sparked a huge rise.
I'm looking that way as a PVA replacement. Maybe.
Yeah, they've still got those good fixtures. He's still getting in the box.
Yep.
Something to think about, Kieran.
Yeah.
Something to think about. So thinking about all sorts of things ready for next weekend. Woo! Our Game Week 7 preview, which it says Game Week 6 at the top, I just noticed. But it says Game Week 7 now.
No, it says 7.
Whoa, okay. All right. Anyway, so our teams for the weekend. Do you want to start and talk about what you're thinking?
Well, I guess transfer-wise, I was thinking possibly PVA or Mendy out. And then maybe Kamara out as well. PVA downgrade to someone like Duffy / Shaw / Doherty, someone like that. And then Kamara to Jimenez, because I want Jimenez in. Mm-hmm. But I can't do it without taking a hit.
Would you be prepared to take a hit this week for him?
Yeah, not sure. I think I am, but I'm not sure I want to because I am at 33k. Maybe it's not the time to be taking hits.
Have you looked into where you dropped to if you took a 4-point hit?
I haven't yet, no.
Okay.
Maybe I could do. No, I couldn't, could I? No, I was thinking if I could get rid of Mendy for Kamara in one, but no, I can't. Obviously can't do that.
So if let's talk about this then. So if you brought in Jimenez, would he be a player you play every week regardless and change your formation, or would you play him based on fixtures? Because for the previous 6 game weeks, you've done great with a 4-4-2. Are you quite keen to change that now? I
think so. I think the 4 is running its course a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of switch it up because I think Jimenez is going to prove really valuable.
Okay.
And there's less clean sheets coming in for my back 4. Obviously not this week, but yeah, I've still got City cover, so I think Mendy possibly out is definitely a way to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not sure. I don't know. I'm undecided on it, honestly. But I would, if I'm just doing one transfer, it's just going to be PVA out, I reckon. But not sure who for. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're just dead set on getting rid of PVA.
Yeah.
And I can understand that.
Because they're playing Bournemouth away, I'm hoping for Palace Fraser goal. Sorry. So.
Yeah, no, lots to consider. But so in terms of captaincy, you were talking about Salah earlier, but
it's either Aguero or Salah. I think that's about it. Just a toying cost between those two at the moment. Obviously, Aguero is the better fixture, but I don't really want him to just play 60 minutes and go off.
What about Hazard?
No.
Yeah, it's a big joke.
I mean, I guess they're at home. But he doesn't really show up in the big games, does he? I mean, he does sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I think Liverpool's defense is just too good.
I agree. Yeah, it's sort of tongue in cheek about Hazard there.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, shall I talk about my team?
Yeah, your team's a bit more straightforward.
Do you think so?
Well, maybe not.
Oh, maybe you can help answer all my questions. Okay, so these are my considerations. Okay, so I'm quite happy with Hennessy in goal. Can't do much about that. Love Bennett playing at home to Southampton because I think that's a fairly certain clean sheet because they've been playing so well. So I'm happy with that. Now then, Robertson and Alonso instead of Shaw. My thinking there is that Liverpool are very good defensively, and Robertson is getting bonus, and he's involved in the attacking play. And the same for Alonso. He's involved in the attacking play. And I'd say both, even if they don't keep a clean sheet, I think they've got a good chance of getting attacking returns. Whereas with Shaw, I think he's less likely to get an attacking return.
Mm-hmm.
So I could, like you say, if Arnautovic is back for West Ham, I could see them scoring and Shaw ending on a 1 or 2 pointer. And I just watch Robertson and Alonso go at it later.
Yeah.
So that's my main consideration. Alternatively, my option is whether I bench Pedro, don't bring in Richarlison or Maddison this week and play Shaw, but I think that's quite uninteresting. I think
You don't want to play Wan-Bissaka instead?
Well, I don't want to double on my Crystal Palace defence.
Yeah, keep forgetting you got Hennessy.
Yeah, Hennessy in goal. So I'm happy with my front line. Wilson against Palace and Aguero, obviously captain. I can't see past him really. And like I said about Moura earlier, I'm happy to have him in against Huddersfield away, but I think it's either going to be this game week or the next game week that he starts to get rotated more often. And it's typical that it's coinciding with away games against Huddersfield and a home game against Cardiff.
Yeah, generally Tottenham are quite good away, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So yeah, that's what my main thinking is this week. It'll either be Maddison or Richarlison because they've still both got great fixtures, and Pedro was only a stopgap on the wild card to take account some good fixtures until Richarlison came back, and it didn't pay off.
How many transfers you got? Just one?
Just one this week, yeah.
So Pedro to someone, and then possibly Moura to knock out the week after.
Exactly, yeah. And then play it like that. And then longer term, like I was saying earlier, Wilson once Bournemouth's fixtures have got worse or turned because they're good at the moment, I think Wilson would get downgraded to a 5-5, either Ings or Jimenez as mentioned.
Yep.
And Shaw would go the way of Trent and double on Liverpool defence.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly happy with my team, to be honest. It's just Moura and Pedro are the two I've got question marks over, just because, like I say, rotation.
Yeah, I'm glad I never went there. Two players that are just prime for it, and I just stayed away.
Trouble. You've done well.
Yeah,
but it's a shame. But anyway, for all I know, Moura could be the star of the show away at Huddersfield.
Yeah,
and then I'll be even more questions because he'll have a plum home fixture against Cardiff. Anyway, I'm just keen. I'd like to get some. I was thinking today about, do I downgrade Pedro and take a chance on Kane for the Cardiff game? It's like a one-off because
how could you afford that?
Well, I'd need to basically downgrade Pedro to someone who's 0.5 cheaper. So it could be Moura to someone who's 0.5 cheaper. So it could be Moura to Knockaert and Aguero to Kane.
Oh, Aguero.
Yeah. But because Aguero's price hasn't changed very much, is it? You look confused about that.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Oh, but think of all the Kane goals he's going to score.
Kane's just not the one this season so far. He's just not it. So
could be. All right, but now I'm pretty set. So it'll probably be Pedro to Richarlison and Maddison. So we'll post our teams up on Twitter.
Good picks.
Thank you. Okay, should we just call out? We're not doing very well. I think I'm just going to start picking clean sheets based on who I think is going to get a clean sheet. Because last week I said Bournemouth as an alternate pick.
I said it right again.
Who did you say?
I said Palace.
Oh, all right. I'm going to go safer picks. All right, go on then. You go first this week again.
What have I got down here? I got Burnley away this week at Cardiff.
Burnley away at Cardiff.
And then if not them, you can say yours first.
No. If you say them though. Go on then.
Oh, okay, it's a risky pick. Arsenal.
Oh, good. Arsenal, okay. Away at Watford? No, sorry, at home against Watford.
Yep.
Okay, all right, I like it. I was going to say Wolves at home against Southampton.
Sure, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a brainer, really, I'd say.
Thank you. I hope so, because I've got little Bennett there. I wouldn't mind a little goal out of Bennett as well. Bennett, if you watch him, little goal this weekend.
He's not looked anywhere close to a goal, has he?
Well, he had De Gea worried, Kieran.
Okay.
You just seen De Gea scrambling.
Was that his header, was it, at the last second?
No, he's had a header in the first half.
Okay.
They was like, oh no. And then it's gone over. Okay. So does that wrap us up tonight? You content?
Yeah, we've gone over captains and everything, haven't we? Yeah.
I think we have. I think
we're
all good. Cool. So thanks to everyone for watching this evening. We'll be back early next week with our Game Week 7 review show. Can you believe it? Oh, it's going so quick. Okay, so if you have any pressing FPL questions, you want to rate your teams, or you want to brag about your score, then yeah, just leave us a message below or tweet us. Our Twitter handle's in the description. I'll be replying to most of the comments on the YouTube page, and Kieran usually picks up a lot of stuff on Twitter. So we divide it up, you see, guys. We divide it. If you haven't already, we'd appreciate the like on the video because it just lets us know we're loved, and it means a lot. And subscribe as well while you're down there because that's cool. So I think until next week, it's goodbye from me.
Cheers and good luck.
Bye-bye, guys.